Okay. Get this, 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 this. This. Okay.
Out there, and channels like doing an amazing job filming this stuff so that we can comment and share
All
our
right.
thoughts.
Nice.
So much credit to Long Run for interrupting the state earlier, but the state can talk the ears off a donkey. This continued filibustering has got to stop so that opposing counsel can speak. Your rulings at some point have got to be final, Your Honor. Whether you hear from Detective Thorpe or not is irrelevant. He requested his lawyer, he invoked his right to not speak anymore, and I don't care what schmoozing Detective Thorpe did out at Sally Port. This gives more context. I now understand why he interrupted. I still think at that point he stopped and let the judge do it since he's not talking over somebody. But now we have context. But let me say this. I believe he's making a mistake in this moment. The judge has already made clear not only that he's ruled, but he doesn't want to hear anymore. The judge has made clear he's not moving. And now you're re-arguing it. Once you get the answer you want from the judge, shut the front door. Don't say a word because you won. And it is likely if the judge ever reconsiders, the judge will give you a chance then to argue. What you risk is you now say something, make the judge go, oh, wait, maybe I don't agree with you. And almost every lawyer has done it. He has won this room. Say your apologies. If you want to make a point, I don't think you had to go and talk to your authority. If you want to make a point that, Your Honor, we need your rulings to be final, that's a fair point too. But now he's re-arguing the substance of it, which I'm sure he has already argued and already won, and you risk saying something, the judge goes, oh, wait, what you saying? Not worth it. This honorable court, in front of the jury, has addressed me inappropriately and wrongly. Second time. The first time, I gave this state.
All right. What am I doing?
By the way, this is my first time. I have seen so many comments in our social media about this man that I cannot wait.
I guess I'm trying to save up for this, right?
So it's fun to watch great trial lawyers work. There was an objection. You assumed that I didn't give it to the state. I didn't want to embarrass the court. So you were yelling at me and saying, do you understand? Do you understand me? And instead of saying, do you understand that you're wrong? I sat here and I said, yes, Your Honor. That would protect the integrity of this courtroom and the court. Now, you say in front of the jury how unprepared I am. I am not unprepared for anything. Okay, so there's no big deal. You're on a new Wednesday, right? So you keep delaying, okay? And that's what's happening to the court. You keep delaying and elongating and pushing out these particular our ability to present a sleeping case in front of the jury. By the way, that is a major issue when judges comment on the lawyer, on the jury, when the jury is going to be deciding something about the client. When I go to court, it is not about me. It is about the person I am fighting for. And so having a lawyer comment about by the court, especially when they can be wrong and they're just frustrated, is so frustrating. And this is why, like we talk all the time, like the lawyer you hire matters. No matter what the judge is about to say,
37,000.
you got his opinion, and the judge heard it. Hopefully the judge, even though he doesn't want to admit it now, it impacts him down the road if he doesn't do it again. You need a lawyer stand up fight. By the way, we get questions all the time about, well, what if we wanted to hire you and everything else? We are here to try to answer questions. So there's a number right here. And if you guys ever have questions anywhere in the country, think you have a case, you have questions about a case, we will do our best to give you information, help you if we can. Find a lawyer, here's the station, we're not there. So go ahead and ask questions. This lawyer is doing many lawyers. Many lawyers go out in the hallway every day and whine about the judge, but never actually in a professional manner on the judge. The judge, when you hear, judge, you got that one wrong. And it's interesting, he got yelled at for something he didn't do, that he didn't bring it to the court's attention. That would be very tough. You owe deference to the court, but when it's over at some point very soon after that, and maybe this is very soon after that, it's worth saying that, Your Honor, you just said all that, and in fact, I did the opposite of what you're accusing me of. If they turn over the audio to discovery, and you listen to them already, then you either have an objection or you don't have an objection. And I was trying to solicit from you whether or not we could just go ahead and just hear it. So you can imagine my frustration because all these little delays just elongate out the whole our presentation in front of the jury. That's for your benefit, not for mine. Your Honor, I don't make you telling the jury I'm not prepared for my benefit.
Yeah.
The judge is right again. So far, it's been really interesting. We're early in this trial, but the judge is right. Juries have a right to not be held there longer than needed. No juror that I know is like, man, I wish that trial went longer. It was so efficient. Trials are already inefficient for the jury. So many things have to happen while they go back into the jury room to discuss legal issues. The judge does have to take the important eye to see what happened. The judge is right. That's his responsibility. If he wants to move it, you could tell the lawyer not to be unprepared once the jury leaves him. I'm much more biased towards the trial lawyer on this because of the impact the judge. The little statements of the judge undermines the credibility and later impacts the verdict when all the judge was expressing frustration that could happen outside of the viewing of the jury. Now I learned that halfway through this trial, the judge had to recuse himself from what we've read because he was having ex parte conversations with witnesses. So let's be clear. Number one, this judge was under immense pressure. The whole world is watching. Everyone's watching. This is the biggest moment. He wants to move this trial forward because the longer he's there, every other case assigned to him is waiting. So he is under huge pressure. And if it goes too long, you lose too many jurors, you've got to start all over. So apparently he's getting on and talking to witnesses, making sure they show up and say what they're going to say to move the trial along. I'm assuming, but you can't do that because anything you say as a judge to a witness, there needs to be all the parties to the case, the defendants, the state.
Okay, I want fuel,
He may have been well
power.
anything beyond what I was just told a second ago, but you
This is gonna go slow. Should I just like restart?
The importance of professionalism.
Yeah, it seems like we're at a wall again. Maybe restarting is a good idea.
8th of April. I'm just checking, just clocking. So we on track? Well, you better have said she's not making for you either. I mean, where have we reached when the judge is giving up homework assignments to lawyers? Let me be clear about this in a couple ways. Number one, a judge knows or should know that lawyers in trial are busy trying to fight for their client. And their other clients don't go away. You know what you're doing sometimes at lunch and on the way to court and on the way back? Fighting for clients who may have other questions. Your life continues. The people in your life continue. The world does not stop the trial. Sometimes it feels like it needs to because the trial is so overwhelming. And I'm getting motions from the other side. And I'm preparing this witness. And this thing just went sideways. Did you want me to write you a paper, Judge, as if we're in 7th grade and I spoke too much in class? And now you're calling me out on it and telling me who can write it? And what are we doing? Because that wasn't offered to you. You already asked me, can I pay the $1,000? I told you no. Well, I know you would, but that's not what's on the table. 28 yes, at noon. For you to 20 days. Or you to 20 days. Too many
This is
rules
insane.
and you're no longer connected with the realities of the game that you're supposed to be the referee for. Now, I don't know what led to this, but now
Yeah,
you're threatening
it's frustrating.
let other people pay $1,000, but if I don't do it, I'm getting 20 days. 20 days. I could drink and drive to this courthouse and get less than 20 days in a lot of jurisdictions, but I don't write your paper while I'm in the middle of trial, and you're going to threaten me. Meanwhile, I got a client counting on me. What's the client thinking?
All right, so
Contempt of court, I guess, because I told you to do something you didn't do, and I'm holding you. That's silly. Are there restrictions on how much they can require you to do to hold you in contempt? Just like, what if you just like do a triple backflip or holding you in contempt? To hold me accountable, I have to have violated some law or some rule of court. The punishments for whatever you say I violated are already spelled out. So if you say I have to go to jail for 20 days, I'm not going to jail for 20 days right now because I'm going to get bail. It's not going to be with you, Judge, because the judge down the hall is probably going to go, this is ridiculous, and give me bail in about an hour. Then I'm going to fight it later. Now I got to fight your stupid 20-day sentence, which, by the way, I have a right to be heard on whether I actually had any misconduct that you're alleging. You see,
let's see. Should I keep going? I feel like it's going pretty fast. I'll take a little more power. No, I don't need more power because yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm taking more power anyway. I probably shouldn't have though, because I have so much fuel that like I don't actually need more power. Like I don't need to do it faster. It just means that there'll be a time when the fuel runs out, and then I don't know.
maybe it's that I just can't
I
remember.
don't know.
Maybe it's happened to opposing counsel jail. And in this case, with a lawyer being filed in one of your 17-page paper, but even in jail, you don't know if it's out. I don't know, to be fair, what led to it. I don't know if we have a total power hungry judge or there was such misconduct the judge felt we should do this. But it feels petty. Maybe if I knew more, it wouldn't be, but to me, it feels petty.
It's 17-page paper on the importance of professions.
What?
With civility. Papers be published quality in APA format and at least 10 primary and 10 secondary sources.
Oh
Sources.
Published quality, APA citation, 20 different sources since law schools ever had.
Yeah, that's
Now
crazy.
we are getting that. Now it's not anymore about what you thought you did and the fact that he needs to learn something and talk about it. Now you're just being punitive. I'm just going to get you because I can get you.
We should be able to send it to the to either the Georgia any one of our actually.
Are you drunk?
Or any other place that accepts publications, and it should be acceptable. Say again. Say again, Mr. Jimenez. Okay, all right, okay, but that's another issue that we're not going to deal with today. But anyways, okay, so Mr. Johnson, we deal with that?
He called him Jimenez. I assume it's Jimenez. Oh, sure. He tried to protect this other lawyer. I don't even know if they're on the same side of the stage. I don't know who
This is
but he
crazy.
tried to go, come on, Judge. Like, yeah, the world's watching. You saw that, right?
That's not what the order says, sir.
So you're, as a judge, made such a big deal about moving this case forward, and we're screwing around.
What am I doing here?
The only lawyers, people in this courtroom.
I think there's nothing to do except just do it again.
We're spending our time on this. By the way,
I wish you could lower the fuel.
I would try to persuade the judge, but his ears will pass.
Shit.
Try to make my record.
I could restart. I don't know. I don't want to play anymore. I'm exhausted. Am I even? What am I doing? We're gonna.
As long as you're ready to sell, as dictated, APA, at least 10 firm.
I'm not on that much of a wall. I'm almost done. So let's just finish it. I'll hit a wall on the next one, and that's when I'll restart. What kind of paper is that?
Of suitable quality, you may do it. But the other thing is, if you don't do it, the other option I have is to jail you for 20 days. Because it's not satisfactory. So,
You realize how many times the cops are going to come and the judge just keeps coming?
so I think you'll be able to do it. I know you'll be able to do it.
Meanwhile, you don't even get paid for this stupid thing. They're going to lose all those hours that he could be serving clients and helping put food on the table and make the money. That, by the way, he's about to go, you went to a competitive law school, you passed the bar, that's right. I earned the right after giving up all those years that I could have been screwing around, I could have been staying home, I could have been out partying late. I give up all those years to have good enough grades to go to college. I had the ability to go to college, I had good enough grades to go to law school. I had good enough grades in law school to pass law school. I studied enough.
It's humiliating.
I did all those things, Judge, so I can now make a living that compensates me for all I put in. And you want me to take weeks of things that I could get paid for to write this for you.
You're a
Thanks,
licensed lawyer, you
Judge.
have a 6-digit bar number. I am certain that you can do this assignment. Any other questions, sir? Okay.
Let me just say that I give credit to that lawyer because I thought at some point he was going to give it back to the judge, and you could feel that that was not going to help. You got to remember.
I got to max length. This is the first time I've ever been on max length, I think.
Every judge is different, and judges have bad days
Wow.
too, and good days too. If you are being attacked like that,
I guess I probably wasn't because I need to get to max length to do this, right?
and you're
I guess we might as well increase the power as well.
everything in you is you're a fighter. This is a trial lawyer. That is a trial lawyer standing there getting attacked like that. That is a fighter, a competitive person. All these lawyers are. They wouldn't be there. They avoid trial. They don't want to be it. And he had to take that. I give credit to that lawyer in that moment for not going back at the judge. Because it would have gone badly, but many lawyers would not have been able to hold that in.
I know that answer my question.
Okay.
How old are you? Well, okay, what's wrong with that?
think he just argued. I think he feels just so you guys know, and plead the Fifth Amendment is against self-incrimination. Since saying how old you are cannot make you guilty of a crime once you've
What
already
if
admitted
it's-
your adult, right? You cannot plead the Fifth. But this is the best start to a witness. Wait to see what happens. It has been brought to the court's attention that
Alright, I guess we're done here.
Counsel, Ms. Bumpus would like to be released. Is that correct now? Okay, all right. Sir, Mr. Copeland, is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time? She's fired. She's fired? Okay. Wait, what did he say? She's fired. Oh, he did. That is what he said. I thought he said she's back. That's what I heard.
It sounds a little bit like that.
She's fired? I think that was the answer. She's fired. But that's not what I heard. Do I got a choice? Yes, you do. And where are those? You can keep your lawyer in the jail right now. I don't want him. You could certainly hire another lawyer, or the court could appoint you a lawyer. It's just, the court is just asking you whether it's your choice, sir. I'm doing. Oh my gosh! Do me a favor.
How good. He's like, how good.
It makes me feel good. This whole career to be able to share what I've seen. I'm going to ask you a favor. Please put in the comments if you want to see more reaction to Little Lee. Because if you guys want to see it, there are more clips of him. I want to see more of him. Okay, we'll see more of him. Let's request it. I can comment on it. I don't know if there's going to be many better witnesses I will ever get to watch or comment on. Just because we're not covered by work products. So, I'm going to ask you again. And I respect that. And it gives me no joy. But as you know, Georgia Rule Professional Conduct is checked. 1.6 out of 5 reads, and this is what I have. 1.6, I know lies, I know what the rule says, but here's the thing. So here's the problem, Judge. I have a chance to make a record because you might try to right now, since you make people write essays like they're children. I have a right to make my record before you do whatever you're going to do and make an argument off that record. So as lawyers, when something does not go as we want, we're often afforded the opportunity to make our record for appeals. Otherwise, your husband goes, well, you never raised this issue before, so the judge was right because you failed to raise it. So there are times I need to make sure I'm going to raise it. Now, I got a judge coming to me about I have to tell him something that I don't think I have to tell him. And it's important that I have the opportunity to cite the rule and argue off that rule. This is not actually your kingdom. As the court, I owe you respect. Your respect. You have the bench, you got the robes. There is testimonies of IOs. However, you are bound by the rule of law. If you're telling me I can give you something, and I don't have the chance to make my argument before I'm going to tell you if I can give it to you, that's a problem. But I do have a right to do that, and that's what Brian Steele is going to do. You need to please tell me who you got it from. I'm not asking for some substance of anything else again, okay? But I need you to tell me.
Alright, I think we're gonna hit skip.
You'd love to go to. This is so sacrosanct to have a conversation in my chambers parroted to you and others.
Huh.
Yeah, that's why I raise it. Is that serious that we should have been there and should have had, sir? That's a whole separate issue. That's why ex parte conversations are recorded. Why would it be ex parte?
If I could do this, if I just do this like 3 more times, it'll, I should be able to fill this up. Alright, let's try it out. Let's go. I think I can do this. I can get through this level fast.
State there? Oh, I missed all kinds of great stuff. So in camera, so let's break it down. There are sometimes a law, but there are documents or something else that we don't want. One side says, I have a right to. The other side says, no, I do not have a right to. How does the judge look to decide whether the other side is allowed to see it or hear it without knowing what it is? That's what we have to work on in camera. Second, the way that happens is the judge is provided, the court is provided the document, testimony, whatever it is. The judge then takes it all in and then says, nope, what I've heard, it doesn't have to go to the other side, or yes, it is. It is a way to protect the integrity of the document. If I have to show you what it is, and then just like, yeah, you don't have to give it, you can't unring the bell, I just read it. So now what's going on is, this judge, it sounds like, met with the prosecutor and a witness without defense counsel present. And I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on the ethics rules in Georgia. However, that would be really unusual. And if it was going to happen, you would absolutely
Huh.
have to tell the other side this is what's
I
happening.
guess I need a little more oil.
Now that you did that,
Oops.
now,
1,
if
2,
I'm a
3.
judge and I'm doing an in-camera
There.
what I read or hear may be secret. That's the whole purpose of an in-camera inspection. But
Size
the fact
power.
that I'm doing
Okay.
it should not be a secret. So if
I'm gonna have to use 3 more times at least.
defense counsel, Mr. Steele and others
It's exhausting.
know that he had this meeting, that sounds really problematic. You're straying off the issue. I'm not. The issue is, I just get but what I'm trying to ask you is, if you look at comment 5, this is how I understand the law. You cannot lie. You can't violate something and then use privilege. Okay, but that's why I'm saying, how did you get your information? But just listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, listen. Get ready to go. First, listen to the privilege. Right. By the way, you may have done something that you are not allowed to do in a case that's this big for the potential freedom of all so many people out here, and you're threatening me again with contempt. I'm allowed to advocate for my client. That advocacy starts with the basics, like no ex parte communication with a judge and a witness in the case. Even if the judge did nothing.
How much is left? Oh yes. I'm not gonna hit level 4 without extending the length of the whole thing.
If you were in the right time to begin with, you weren't. Let me tell you, I'm just reading from it. But if I'm reading it wrong, I'm not trying to. It says 1.6 applies not merely to matters.
Alright, so if I do that 3 more times, or maybe 4 more times, I'll have enough for this.
So you're asking me to break your order now, baby. We're asking you. I'm not saying to order, but to give you information, and you're saying it's not some substance. But I'm telling you, I can't do that under the law. All right, well, I'm going to hold you in contempt. Okay, whatever. I'm literally reading this rule, Judge. The rule says if I learn anything through my time, I'm not allowed to tell you anything. Now, understand what he's asking. Mr. Steele does what the judge says. He just committed an ethical violation of what he's reading. Violating attorney-client privilege. So the judge is saying, you must tell me this, or I'm holding you in contempt. But if you do it, you're going to be referred to the state bar for violating attorney-client privilege. That's what the judge is asking. So by using that, the sword of contempt, again, you can sit here right now, if it's not your law license, there is risk on both sides of what you're doing. And it takes guts to do the right thing at that moment and stand up to the judge and say,
Alright.
I
I guess we're good.
He did not.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 more times, so I have to do this.
Now, generally, the court doesn't have to. A court can find me wrong. They don't.
Kinda wanna just quit. Wasn't it 30 before? It was 30. Now it's 26. It's going down.
You're just telling me, all right, and you can think about it. 5 o'clock today, we'll see where we are. That's it on that point. Because that's not what I understand the rule to be. I'm not asking you what in this rule is different than you understand, Your Honor, and give me an answer. I don't see it that way. Hey, give me a case. You don't know a case, Your Honor? Since this is, ethical issues between me and my client, take tonight. I won't hold you, Judge. I take this, Your Honor. This is so serious to me. Hearing, moving for a mistrial. It is my understanding, based upon information believed from whom, well, I'd like to get the substance first, and then okay, well, then you take custody until then. Because one, you need to tell me how you got the information. I'm not asking you what was said. And Judge, tell me the rule or law by which I am required to tell you how I got it. You just keep saying because you said so, Judge. Because I said so is a great.
Oh, it worked. I got the money, I think.
The deputies gave you that.
What a relief. I thought I was gonna have to do it. Alright, length is Now, Max, let's do this.
And if that person gave you that information or shared that information with you, she probably violated privilege. Well, let me tell you two things. One, I understand how that is privileged communication. It shouldn't. Well, because she has a client she's supposed to represent. But anyways, the judge is saying that there was a violation of attorney-client privilege for sharing a conversation with Mr. Seal, prosecutor, and whoever else. That's not possible because the judge was there. Attorney-client privilege is law if someone else is there. So if you're my client, we're having a conversation, and your best friend is there, privilege laws. There could be exceptions. Someone who's incapable of communicating, an interpreter, or maybe a lawyer. If he's going, who is her client? Because she represents the state, so I don't think the whole state is there. So who is her client? We're talking about the prosecutor. And you were there, Judge, so the privilege of laws. You're saying I wasn't allowed to be told, but I was allowed to be told. By the way, one other thing you made this. He asked for a mistrial. Mistrial means we start and do this all over again. They've been in here for months. Mr. Steele just asked for a mistrial. Or he said he might move for a mistrial. I think he actually did move for a mistrial. He's saying we're starting this all over again. That is a mess. It's bad for the court calendar. It's bad for the judge to some degree. If he's the one who caused it, it's bad for the judge. So this is getting really...
Continue. Alright, this one, I think now I'm gonna hit a wall. And when I hit that wall, I'm gonna restart.
The question still remains. I want to know who gave you the information? I'd like to know what information happened outside of...
I don't know why why does the P go down compared to previously? What is the P based on?
Okay,
Must be based on how many squares I've destroyed.
I understand that you're still doing this outside our presence. And whenever, yes, I have ex parte conversation, which is appropriate. You influence the witness based on information belief, and I'd like to have that all in the record. All right, take Mr. Steele into custody, please. This is bizarre. So I've spent a lot of time defending the judge. I think it's very easy to sit where I sit, by the way, and criticize team up. Very easy. When you've been in it, I wasn't judge for a couple days. Long story, right? Honestly, little stuff. But you are looking at a judge pro tem of the Superior Court of Arizona. That's true. Or retired. Anyone can sit here and tell everyone else what they should do. That's so easy. I hate that stuff, and that's why.
No, it's saved. I want to spend the length.
It is a complicated case, and he's got other cases. And anyone can sit
Wait,
here and play that.
I have enough. This is I have 6,074. That's enough for the buy the length. But it's not letting me spend it. Damn it.
Why? Because he'll show up the next day. What do you do with that?
Alright, I don't care. Let's just do this.
They got a trial. The trial's ongoing. He denied the motion for mistrial, which means whatever the next court day is, Steele's going to be there. You get arrested. You've all been arrested. If you get arrested, you're going to leave, right?
I want to quit.
Once you've been convicted. Now, once you've been convicted, now you're serving your punishment.
This game is like, it starts off so relaxing, and then it drives you insane. Let's just stop the video and just listen to the birds. It's the multitasking that bothers me, I think. I need to just play it, and then if I get the urge to listen to a video while playing it, I should just stop. Zenness of Zenness. Alright, so what do I do now? Oh yeah, it just skipped. There we go. And now we increase the length. Alright. Alright, so I want, definitely want to increase the power. I think halfway up is probably good for fuel. Let's not go way over half. Let's just see how it goes with half. I should have probably increased the power. Now I'm not like chopping through very well. Maybe I don't need to. Maybe this is fine. Let's just skip. All right, we have 40,000 on that. Let's just increase power twice. Increase fuel level. That's good. I mean, almost 50,000. Let's just skip. I need 150,000 to increase the length again. So I can do that pretty fast. Just two more quick runs. All right, so let's do it then. Let's increase the length again. Yeah. Let's do that again. I'm gonna put the volume back on. I'm gonna put this show back on.
Holding you responsible.
How am I doing for time? I'm good.
Here, he's been accused of contempt. Q, not found final. Q, why are you pumping him? Good, tell me where to be. You know I'm going to be there. Do you think Mr. Steele got to handle a case this size and complexity without spending a lot of time with a trial lawyer? The judge knows who he is. The other judges know who he is. The community knows who he is. This man's not going anywhere over your little consent charge. So to cuff him is just a totally unnecessary situation. If you got pulled for DUI, cuff him. Just the way they're You're not special because you're a trial lawyer. Cuff him. Take him in. Hook him. Boy, look, National. Stick with his skew. He's in your court. He's going to be in your court for the next time. Go ahead and find him in contempt and allow the process to play out. There's no reason to process this in this case.
Let's just okay. We'll finish this up.
He's taking off his tie. That's an issue. Okay. Yes, sir. You certainly may. You know what he wants to say. I'm looking for to see what he does say. Totally doing here, you were removing me against his will and my will, taking away his right to counsel. And you're conducting material parts of this trial without me present, and I can't learn about it by watching online. So, for that reason, additionally, I asked for this trial. And I assume you deny, but I'd like you to deny our motions for this trial. You deny the other. So I've denied the motion, but I'll certainly take that under advisement, sir. You better recess for the day, because there's no way you can take your lawyer away from your client and then have an unrepresented client in a RICO trial or any trial.
All right.
Shoplifting trial.
We're trying to get to 151,000, I think. Should be easy to get on this next one. Let's go.
I'm looking at the clock on the wall, and that looks like it's quarter to 9. So that was what I was thinking before, that we moved to the end of the day. So if the judge moves forward with this case with young Doug, with no lawyer in court to defend him, no matter what's going on, you can't if you're going to create a mistrial. Now, apparently, if they create a mistrial, it's got to be taken off the case. But so in order for the mistrial to happen, I'll need the judge to request it so that it's on. There's a lot of reasons we have a mistrial. Very few mistrials are because of mistrial. A mistrial is usually improper conduct. The most common thing is stuff with a juror. A juror did something they shouldn't do. A juror investigated a case and told other jurors. You lost 3 jurors during trial, now you don't have a full jury. Number one reason for mistrial, in my experience, is something related to the jury. Next, most likely, is improper conduct or something deemed improper conduct by a party or a lawyer. The least likely is that the judge did something.
We did it.
Wrong.
Yeah, we got our 150,000.
It's judge, you made a ruling you should not.
I think I should push the rest of this in.
Case has gone over now, we can't get a fair trial. So this trial is basically saying there's no way to fix it. Even if you turn to the jury and say this mistake was made, you cannot undo it. This mistrial is all about the judge and not on a bad ruling, but his allegedly improper conduct. So what do you do?
So what do? We get the length up. Length is maxed. All right, I think we're gonna win now. Should be no problem. Let's increase the power. Increase the size as well, and might as well increase the fuel this time.
All right, so thank you guys for allowing me. I love love getting into this stuff. Please subscribe, like, comment, do all these things. Tell us what you like. And here's another thing. It has been reported this Young Gun trial is the longest trial in the history of the city of Georgia. We have clips forever. So if you want us to talk about it more, let us know in the comment. Also, right there. See that?
Whoa.
Be commenting on some other cases, some other trials. Make sure click there. It says you like it. Besides that, we will see you soon. Thank you for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So I went ahead and
Having
paid my
us.
ex-wife, who I didn't want to give my combination to.
Don't ever give your ex-wife a combination to your face. I'm just saying. Oh, officer communication. Can I just say this one thing? This is non-verbal foreign line. Nobody looks at little things that monster says there's a monster all the time. To make an example. The judge is just flat out wrong. Come on, man. What?
All right, we got about 60,000.
Welcome everybody, Mark Pryor, the husband and wife laws giving you a back.
Gonna become about 100,000 total.
I'm excited because I'm a trial lawyer.
All right, that went great.
Civil case, and here we have
So,
Afro man, a defendant in a civil trial. I cannot wait to jump into it, but
okay.
some of you feel really bad.
Fuel,
I
1,
just
2,
want
3,
to
4,
know right now,
5.
because while thousands and thousands of people are subscribing to this channel as we go in record time up to 100,000, some people may or may not actually enjoy some of this content. Thank you for those who do. Some of you haven't even subscribed yet. How are we going to get to 100,000 if you don't? Go ahead, click it. There you go. You got it. Click. All right. Subscribe. Please comment. We love to know. There's a whole team here. We want to know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like more of. All right. Let's talk about this trial. Let me set up what you're about to see. The police are involved in this case, and it is not a criminal case. There are two parts to our justice. Two, you always hear about one. You hear about the one where people get arrested, and then they go to prison, potentially, over crimes they committed. That is the criminal justice system. Get it out of your mind. That is not this case. When someone does something to you that they don't go to jail for, or sometimes before they do go to jail, you can sue them for money damages for what they did. But Mark, money doesn't do anything. Money can't fix what they did. You're right. The business to do money can fix it. You take money, you should take money to fix the problem you did. However, you can't do what you did. We're not going to get off hook, but you can't undo. Now, here is the thing. At his house, he wasn't home. The police kicked down the door. It blew up the door down. They came in. They looked through the whole place. And I mean, they looked through the whole
Okay, what do I do now?
place. Allegedly the subject of kidnapping investigation. They even looked in the pockets of his suit because a whole lot of kidnapping victims are in the pockets of your suit. But you
So,
know what? Police can
I
find the
want
pockets of the suit. No,
size,
are part of what you're doing. Detail your human
power.
trafficking operation. Okay, they have a warrant. They're looking
So, okay, I made like 40,000 in one go. That's slow. It's not great. So let's spend all our money on power. Yeah, there we go. See if we can get more than 40,000.
So we have protections in place so police do their job without interference. He put them out in video. A lot of reporters don't know before. Put them on the video and they sue defamation or using their name, image, and likeness without their permission. Basically, they said, "Listen, police officers doing my job, and you just harassed me, humiliated me, lied about me, down on that I took what you did and put it in the public and like seeing yourself doing what you were doing and you shouldn't have done. There's an argument on both sides. Who can decide? The jury. Who's taking the stand here? Can we just have a brief conversation? The stand's left. Testify in front of the jury. He's being sued for $4 million. I would not have had him arrested. I know what the artist is wearing the colors of the country proudly. It is actually smart to say this is an American thing, this whole First Amendment thing you don't like, so it's not me against the cops, it's American belief system against these particular cops. Generally, have just a little where they go on versus jury for credibility purposes.
Okay, so all this further testimony you're about to share, some of the proof, the whole truth, tell me about it. That's it, answer right now.
All right, 60,000. Yeah, I can make 60,000 on each run. So let's just keep going. I'll put like let's spend a little on fuel, maybe a little on size.
Stage name is Aquaman, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You go by the name Appleman. I guess he's always been around, right?
Is it fair to say that one of the first big hits you had was, but then I got fired?
Because I
How do you get that wrong?
Do you think it's accurate to say that that song has had over 300 million views on YouTube?
that sounds right.
Well, can I assume this is cross-contamination? The fact that I have to ask that is a really bad sign. So let's talk about what's happening, okay? So when you're called to testify as a witness, your lawyer will call you first. I have actually called you. I gave you all them out of orders that potentially could happen. When you're doing a direct examination of your own witness, you want the story to come through your client. As the lawyer, your job is to facilitate. You're like a great lawyer. Your job is to make it happen and stay out of the way. You're not the score. Okay? I mean, others, cross-examination, who's the show? You're the show. You're not going to let the witness dictate it. When you're listening to a good cross, you would usually, not always, particularly at the beginning, it's cross because of the way it's being done. Now, I realize we do not see the cross-examiner here, but this is a little bit easy going. Bad start to not know the name of the hit song, the person you up there. So I would just say that from a cross-examination standpoint,
All right.
yeah, not build with the start. If you don't get the vibe of this is my court, now you said terrible things about my client, and you have put my client's life and my client's a police officer, and I have to make sure that you don't get that vibe, right? It's a very late that vibe. You're there fighting crimes. You were humiliated. You needed to sue. That's your position. What made me get that feeling also real quick. So Afro-Man's conduct, but relaxed, unconcerned. He's not fighting dumb stuff. So, great job. So
You remember the deposition when I asked you why did you want to use pick up the money?
Yeah, I didn't want to get beat up on next being at the sheriff's station after I sent home with the interview. So that's why I brought the news at my attorney. So to make sure I got out of that person.
you got to know something. You just said the question that you remember at the deposition you gave. What's the deposition? At the beginning of the African race man scored up truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. You saw that, right? Did the same thing on this exact case against this exact lawyer with some of these exact questions. There was no judgment, there was no jury. It is a question and answer session under oath, and a good deposition can clear the crime because you said it in the past. So now if you say something different, you're going to be impeached, which is claiming was computer representation wasn't cool. You're going to be made to look at your mind. You said, remember when you gave the deposition now. Did you see the response? It's not about the substance. Here's what I already know Aquaman, and I give his lawyer credit for this, and him. You need both minds to prepare. How did he prepare? He had read his deposition. How do I know it? You could see as soon as he started going through exactly what the lawyer was talking about. That's not because he remembered 2 years earlier what he said. It's because before he took the stand, he read his deposition enough time that you were not going to get him to say something different. It's not that he was correcting about what he said. He had taken the time to prepare. Hard work pays off. The quality is
Protect his
Yeah.
You didn't bring the news because you only knew there was a miscount.
That's a critical cross-examination. He's basically saying, you didn't bring the news media to protect you from the police. You purposely brought the news to try to humiliate my client. And you were going to make a big deal out of this at my client's expense. My clients are big cops and they've done their job. And all they did was the subpoena required them to do. They are not the prosecutor. They are not the judge that issued the subpoena. They are cops who have badges and guns and detectives doing their job. And you wanted to humiliate them. That's what he's trying to say. Now, he could not have gone that far at that point, but it's crossed. He's got a lot of leeway. The point he was trying to make was, don't pretend that
I love this.
news media was there because you were going to try to make this.
No. Back to lobby. Get the length up. There we go. Length max. Man, I'm getting good at this. All right. So now let's push the power up. All right. think we have enough now. We should probably win.
They did that thing against my mind. Go ahead and say whatever. Say, watch how he lets him talk. This is your fault. This is your problem. You think this man is lying about it. Don't let him run off the net. Let his lawyers do your job to make sure that the jury hears what they think the truth is.
I figured they stole my money. They turned my cameras off. So if you turn my cameras off, you must got something bad in mind. So yeah, I'm gonna keep they turn my cameras off. I can't see what they're doing.
So your testimony today for these 10 jurors is that you brought the news to the pick up their life physically from being beat up or shot by the sheriff, right?
Yes. And they volunteered the information that the money wasn't right. That's just an extra something we found out. But I came with my attorney and the news to make sure the people running around the house with guns didn't take me into jail and do something.
You believe that? Well, I'd like to see your comments. Do you believe that Afroman brought you to make sure that everyone knew what a big deal it was because he was mad that he broke into his house and charged he had nothing to do with it, and he wanted the world to know what they had done? Do you believe he brought them there? That's really the argument. He could have said, I wanted the world to know. The problem with that is he sued for making a big deal out of what these cops did, and it doesn't.
No. All right, we're doing great. So spend a lot on length.
I'd love to know what you guys think.
You had a safe in your hand, correct? Two safes. Did the sheriffs look into those safes, to your knowledge?
Yes, they did.
Deputy?
Yes.
And how did they get the combination?
I gave it to my ex-wife so the sheriff wouldn't pull my safe off the floor, take it to the station and put something in it and try to say that whatever they put in the safe.
Okay, everyone see this? So we have a lawyer standing behind the podium. Many judges require lawyers to stand behind the podium. Many judges, you are not required to stand behind the podium. If you want to make a point, don't stand behind the podium. I am not criticizing this lawyer anyway. One, many lawyers stand behind the podium. Two, there's times you need the podium to walk the ball, walk the line, to notes. Some judges require it. I'm just pointing out that you may go to court and you may see one lawyer spend the whole time behind the podium, another lawyer uses the courtroom and has comfort, and that's usually when you know which lawyer is most comfortable, most prepared to actually deliver to you the information you need before they get you. By the way, again, I'm not saying that's going on. Hearing, I know.
Wow.
When I see the call.
Look how fast I beat that level.
Yeah, they can do that. It's gonna come out later.
Did not see that coming.
So I went ahead and gave my ex-wife, who I didn't want to give my combination to.
Don't ever give your ex-wife a combination to your six. I'm just saying, you think he lost money in this raid? Who knows what happened?
I went ahead and gave her my combination so they could open up the safe.
The question was, how did they get the combination to that safe? And he just gave a whole story. Excuse me, sir. Your lawyer's going to have to take to allow you to explain everything. In fact, your lawyer's already had the chance. I would like to get through this day as quickly as we can. So if you'll do me the favor, I will show you the same respect. If I ask you a simple question, would you mind just answering that question so that we can move along and get to everything we have to get through here today? Jury doesn't lose power. And I have a lot I have to do. You have a lot you'd like to discuss. Let me just agree. Because every question
I'm mostly focused on power, a little bit of size, and fuel. And let's see if we can get it up to 10,466.
Everything that's put out there is your opportunity to respond, especially if the judge and prosecutor a lot of
I realize that they just vandalized somebody that don't even have nothing to say. Absolutely nothing to say.
I think it's jewelry in those safes. Now, when you tell me that in the deposition, is there jewelry in those safes? Was anything missing from the safe when you got home to the safe?
I didn't put nothing in the safe.
Now I'm confused. Nothing was in the safe. Tell me your deposition. What's in your safe, Jeff? You push in your safe, Jeff. Is there anything missing? I don't think anything. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know if you guys are following it better, but now I'm confused as to whether there's ever jewelry in there to be taken.
Yeah, my whole thing is they never put a radio first.
That's your whole thing.
That's my whole thing. They never would have told us. There was no songs about it. I wouldn't know who they are. Their faces would not be on my video cameras. None of it, we wouldn't be in this room right now if they had the ready and didn't press no charge, didn't even know what they were doing. This whole thing is their fault, and they're suing me for their fault.
First of all, going to that testimony doesn't happen. You know why? Most witnesses cannot carry that by themselves. Most witnesses would need a message like that to come from their lawyer. This is much harder than we're all sitting here talking about it. What the lawyers are doing is harder. Witnesses are doing is harder. It is super easy. What I do for a living. It is super easy to sit here and talk about cross-examination, direct examination, what the judge is doing. It is much harder at home. Like anything else. You watch any sports, everything's easier when you're sitting on the couch with your opposite and an inspection. Do it. I'm telling you right now. I've seen countless and I'm not always testifying. What way harder than it looks. I would almost never trust a client to be able to successfully.
All right, we're almost done. We got 35,000 there. So if we do that 2 more times, we'll be ready to increase the length. So let's just let's increase the fuel just a little bit, and
Isn't the same.
let's increase the size. And hopefully that will increase our output a little bit.
He starts answering, not answering questions. He wants to go further. The lawyer now just said he wants to answer the question.
I'm hoping to get to like 70,000, a little over 70,000 here. If I don't, I'll have messed up.
Critical to make sure the witness knows if you question me in front of this jury, you're going to look bad. So you better go along with me. I can ask questions. But if you don't want it, you don't understand me, then I have to. So this is going to be a critical moment so far.
Now, the argument with her admitting that she took my money.
Nobody admitted that they took your money.
I would write that as a lawyer. Nobody admitted that they took your money. The lawyer testified. You're not allowed to testify and say, isn't it true that you have no evidence that someone admitted? Tell the jury right now where you saw that admission. And do you believe that is firm that you believe everything you testified to here today? So if you go back to all this evidence,
I may have messed up because I thought I would be at.
find a single time this was admitted, then you would have to admit that you are telling them something.
I thought I'd be at like 70,000 right now.
If you're right. Now, if you're making stuff up, you don't have to.
What did I?
Ask the question.
Go look at her admitting that. All weekend long or 2 weeks after Brian and Officer Tootin just left it and just mishandled it.
Just.
So, in at least 2 more, I think I should be able to. I don't know.
Admitted that they took your money. Did they?
They admitted it was true.
Yes. Nobody in the court said they took your money.
It was true. He admitted. He said that it was true.
So now your whole critical point here was that yes, it was admitted the money that was written down was $400 short, but no one actually raised their hand and said I did. So now that whole thing I said, like you got it, maybe you were trying to argue over just a petty little ways of wording it. How it feels.
I feel understand that I got freedom of speech. After they run around and kick down my door, I have the right to kick a can in my backyard. Use my freedom of speech. Turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so. Because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
Closing argument.
Oh!
Executed the search warrant on your home. That gave you the right to post the things that we've seen this week on the internet.
Because,
Is that right, Mr. Clark?
yes, but
Yes.
tearing down my door, not paying for it, nothing.
It's trying to cross-examine, trying to get the witness. Just answer the question. That's what you want. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? He's in a tough spot. Here are your options. 1, allow the witness to continue to push their agenda and hope they lose credibility. They may not, especially now with a good witness.
All right. I'm liking how this is going. We're almost done. I guess the fuel seems like it's enough. I guess we're good. Let's just play.
Answer the question that's posed. What's the problem? The problem is potentially you needed help from us. You needed to run to the judge, get some help. Everyone sees you, but you got to do something. Or one of your something is just ride with it while this witness does whatever they want. Go with your gut. Try to make the right decision because he's asking a simple question. Witness will answer the question and will go on and tell you everything he wants to say, which is not good for you if someone's as good at explaining themselves.
You know something, to raise the money to pay for their damages, we have to provide us the freedom of speech as an American.
There's just nothing you're saying is simple.
And to do what I had to do to repair the damage they brought to my house. Yes, I did.
That includes the right to post the videos that you've just been posting up until Friday and beyond, right?
Yes, I have freedom of speech. I'm a rapper. I entertain. I
Oh.
fiction.
Uh,
Yes, I mean, I entertain for a living. I practice law for a living.
He's still releasing videos up to the trial. Most lawyers like on the first day we meet don't put anything on social media.
All right, we're done. All right, that's all, folks. Please like, subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment. Love you guys. Bye bye. Save.